When Jasmine Carter walked into the lavish lobby of her own five-star hotel in downtown Atlanta, she expected professionalism, maybe a warm smile or a polite nod. Instead, she was met with smirks, dismissive glances, and a level of disrespect that would have been unimaginable. She weren't a black woman in a tailored suit. No one at the front desk recognized her. No one thought to ask. To them, she was just another black guest who didn't belong in a place this expensive, this elite, and that was their first mistake. Jasmine wasn't just any guest. She was the majority owner, the visionary behind Carter Luxe Hotels, a rapidly expanding luxury hotel chain with properties across the country. Her name was literally etched on the plaque outside. But the way the front desk staff treated her, you would have thought she had wandered in from the street with no reservation and no reason to be there. She had come in unannounced. She was known for doing pop-up visits to her hotels, checking in on service quality and guest experiences personally. But what she encountered this time went far beyond poor service. It was open mockery. "Ma'am, this is a luxury property," the young receptionist said, with a forced smile, not even bothering to look at Jasmine's ID. "The event today is by invitation only. Perhaps you're looking for the staff entrance?" Behind her, two junior managers chuckled. One whispered something that made the others laugh, and their eyes darted to Jasmine's natural hair and dark skin. They thought she couldn't possibly be someone not here. Not in this suit, not in this space. Jasmine didn't flinch. She didn't yell. She didn't pull out her business card or call security to assert her position. Instead, she calmly stepped back and took out her phone. A few minutes later, the hotel's general manager, middle-aged white man named Craig, who had worked for her company for 5 years, hurried down from the executive offices, visibly flustered when he saw who was waiting in the lobby. "Ms. Carter?" he gasped. "We weren't expecting you until next month, I know," she said coolly. "That's the point. I needed to see how things run when no one's watching." Craig's eyes flicked nervously toward the front desk. Staff. It was only now dawning on them who they had just insulted. The smiles disappeared. The receptionist's face turned ghost white. One of the junior managers looked like he wanted to melt into the marble floor. Jasmine didn't say a word to them. She turned to Craig. "Boardroom now." What followed was one of the most unforgettable meetings in the hotel's history. Jasmine sat at the head of the long table, her presence commanding and calm. The entire leadership team, along with the front desk staff involved, was required to attend. She started by playing a security video recording of the encounter, audio included. There was no denying what had been said, no room for excuses. Number 1 tried to offer "I built this brand to be inclusive, welcoming, and world-class," Jasmine said firmly. "I came here today as a test, and this hotel failed." Then she turned to the receptionist and the two junior managers. "Your assumptions, your tone, your behavior, it tells me everything I need to know about how you treat people when no one is watching. If you can speak to me like that, a black woman in a suit, I can only imagine how you treat others who don't look the part. Effective immediately, you're terminated." Gasps filled the room. No one had expected her to act so swiftly. But Jasmine wasn't done. "Craig," she said, locking eyes with the general manager, "you've been with this company long enough to know what we stand for. You should have trained your team better. And if you've allowed this culture to fester, then you're not fit to lead this property," Craig stammered. "Miss Carter, please, I had no idea you're on probation," she interrupted. "You have 30 days to overhaul hiring and training procedures or you're out." The silence in the room was heavy. Everyone understood the gravity of what had just happened. Jasmine didn't scream. She didn't demand apologies. She led decisively, unapologetically, with purpose. And still, she wasn't finished. The next morning, a press release hit every major news outlet. It announced Carter Luxe's new initiative, the Hospitality Equity Standard, a mandatory diversity, sensitivity, and inclusion program for all employees at every level, across all hotel properties. The press release included a powerful statement from Jasmine. "Luxury isn't about marble floors or gold-plated pens. It's about how people feel when they walk through the doors. No one should ever be made to feel like they don't belong, especially not in a place I built to feel like home." The story went viral. Social media exploded with praise. Black professionals and entrepreneurs shared the story, calling Jasmine a role model, a boss, a queen. Even celebrities reposted her statement. Major hospitality magazines ran feature stories about her leadership. And bookings across Carter Luxe properties surged as guests voiced their support. But the most powerful change didn't happen in headlines. It happened quietly within the halls of every Carter Luxe hotel. Staff retraining began immediately. Diverse. Hiring committees were formed. Regional directors were brought in to oversee long overdue reforms. Employees were given safe spaces to report discrimination or misconduct, guests noticed. And so did the industry competitor hotel chains, scrambled to review their own practices. Some even reached out to Jasmine to consult on similar programs. What had started as a moment of disrespect had triggered a national conversation about racial bias in luxury hospitality, and Jasmine, she didn't slow down. She used the momentum to expand. Within a year, Carter Luxe added 3 new locations, in cities where representation and opportunity were long overdue. Each grand opening was led not just with champagne and ribbon cuttings, but with job fairs, community panels, and scholarships funded by the Carter Foundation. She made sure every guest knew they were welcome, not just because it was good business, but because it was the right thing to do. So yes, they mocked her. They dismissed her. They looked at a black woman in a suit and assumed she didn't belong. But what, Jasmine? Carter did next didn't just shock them. It changed the game.